Welcome back to another episode of the Five Man Breakdown. It's your host, Dorsey Hobson.
Along with your host, Maurice.
Who y'all think is going to win the championship this year?
Spurs.
The Spurs? You know what? The only reason I can't see the Spurs is with most teams,
They're too young right
I
now.
recognize a pattern with championship level teams. They can go from the play-in, the play-in 1 year, to the jump to the playoffs, probably the second, maybe even third round. Then they'll jump to a finals ring. And I think last year was the Spurs' opportunity, or was the Spurs' play-in year. They missed the play-in because Wemby got injured. Now is their playoff year. I can see them winning the title next year, realistically.
But honestly, what are they gonna do?
What? I just think, I mean, what's probably going to happen is Wemby has never been in the playoffs. Hold on. Listen. Wemby's never been in the playoffs. Wemby's third and fourth best players are Stephen Castle and Dylan Harper. Never even thought about the playoffs. Stephen Castle is an NCAA champion. I'll give him that. But they have never even been at the playoff thought. Once those guys get to playoffs, they'll probably dominate some team in the first round. They'll get to the second round where they're gonna have to face the Lakers. This OKC is gonna be a really hard matchup for them because they don't have the experience. I feel like they could definitely go out there and miss a lot of shots. De'Aaron Fox will probably be I feel like De'Aaron Fox is gonna be the X factor for the Spurs in the playoffs.
First,
D Fox.
Wemby and Stephen Castle, they got mentored by CP3. That's why they signed CP3 that one season with the Spurs.
Mm-hmm.
And
But
I forgot what else I was trying to say.
But they still never been to the playoffs.
Well, I mean, honestly, I would say the Spurs have a chance, but they don't got no real enforcer on the court. Wemby is a kind of a pushover on the court, and he let a lot happen. They don't got no real enforcer.
I wouldn't say Wemby a pushover.
I mean, bro, like
I don't know about that.
I mean, we're playing basketball.
I think when people be trying to get tough with Wemby definitely Wemby don't let that slide.
In OKC, you got people like J-Dub. You got people like I forget the other dude name. You got people who are.
For example, the All-Star game. Wemby took that very serious. He was telling them that he's going to make them play.
I mean, yeah, like Wemby definitely is a winner. Wemby does not like to lose. He's a winner.
But I'm just gonna say this. The reason I'm saying the Spurs can't win it is because first they don't have experience, and then if you look at the experience that his they supposed they're gonna have the guys like OKC fresh off a title. They just went off a title run, super experienced. Luka Doncic has carried a team to a conference finals and the finals. LeBron James is the greatest player of all time, so he's crazy experienced. Then they might have to go against. They're probably gonna have to go against either the Nuggets, Lakers, or OKC, which is not a good matchup experience wise for the Spurs for any of them.
Spurs have a winning record against everybody
in the regular season. And
against OKC, that's 1 and 2 seeds. They're playing for real.
Yeah.
They're fighting.
Definitely.
That's definitely they're 3-1. That's definitely playoff game.
I OKC. Okay, I just feel like the experience aspect is what it's gonna be. I think my winner is gonna be OKC to go back to back.
I feel like experience in playoffs are total just foolishness. I feel like if you really want to go out there and win, they will go out there and win. Wemby does not like losing.
The last time a team has gone from not getting in the playoffs to a finals was 1995.
Well, I mean, those are plumbers back then. We're talking about the modern era. So
nobody's done it in the modern era. That's what I'm saying.
Well, history's about to change.
I don't think so, man. I think we're gonna see where Wemby is one of the best players in the league. I think we're gonna see Wemby have some games where like, what is he doing out there? I mean, I've never seen Wemby look this bad. I think that
is so disrespectful. That is so disrespectful.
I don't really see it.
That's what I'm saying. I don't see that
honestly, at all. Dylan Harper just had his first starter game the other day. For his first starter game, he jumped from averaging 11 points to a straight 20 points. That's a big jump.
That's with D Fox out. Dylan Harper especially I feel like Dylan Harper might have some bad shooting nights in the playoffs too. Especially him. Even him being the rookie, the sixth man. They're gonna rely on him to bring a lot of scoring off the bench, and he might fail.
That he's gonna be more patient. He's gonna be more ideal with his shot.
When have you seen?
No, actually, Dylan Harper is kind of a slow player. He doesn't move as fast. He kind of.
What rookies have been known for being playoff risers on good teams? None.
Magic Johnson.
When did Magic Johnson get a ring? When was Magic Johnson a rookie?
His rookie year.
I know. I'm saying. That was in
that
had to be in 19. Nah, he had Kareem, but Kareem didn't play one of those. But that had to be in 1980 something, man.
I think a sneaky team is the Wolves.
The Wolves, you know what? I like that team too because people forget the Wolves have been to 2 conference finals in the last 2 years.
Back to back.
So that's definitely a contender. We cannot count out the Wolves. The only reason I feel like the reason people are counting out the Wolves is because of how hard the Western Conference is, in which it is. Let's say one thing. Whatever team makes it out the East is going to get dominated in the finals. They're going to get dominated after playing a battle-tested West team. It's going to be bad.
In the East, that's
who's going to come out and play a team who's been through the Rockets, Wolves, Nuggets, Spurs, OKC, and Lakers, and who's going to out of the East and actually have a chance?
East, you got
the one team that is coached and that plays like a championship team in the East that I say is the Celtics because they have the experience.
I'm not gonna lie. Another sneaker is the Hornets.
The Hornets, the Hornets are definitely going to get out the play-in, and they're probably going to lose in the first round. But they have been great, and they will be. I think they're starting to build like a real playoff team.
It's either they spank you by 30,
yeah,
or they lose.
LaMelo is too inconsistent. I don't know. I just
50-50.
Yeah, he could have a great game, or he could have the worst game ever.
Or go out there and do one leg faders.
He does good when he come off the bench.
Yeah. Honestly, they need to give the ropes to Khan Knuble. Let him be the guy. Let LaMelo play a little backseat role.
But LaMelo still be coming off the bench dropping 30 though. So.
Yeah, he definitely does. LaMelo, he's certified, But another sneaky team. People almost are kind of not talking about as much as the Nuggets. They still got Nikola Jokic, Jamal Murray. Who's a playoff riser. Definitely, Jamal Murray is known for his
score. He turned up in the playoffs.
Yeah, it's crazy playoff games. And then he's at first one-time All-Star this year. So
Eric Gordon, he get it done in the playoffs. So they all turn up in the playoffs. They lock in.
But let's talk about
Jamal Murray.
Well, in the East, the only real teams having a shot to go to the finals, in my opinion, are the Pistons, Celtics, and Knicks. I don't think the Pistons are going to make it. I think the Pistons are probably going to lose to either the Celtics or the Knicks.
They're definitely going to lose to the Knicks. They're going to play the Knicks.
I think Cade is going to come back, but I feel like Cade is going to have a great playoffs, but his teammates are going to sell him because the thing about Cade is he doesn't really have a elite number two ball handler like guy. So that when
I thought he needed PG.
Yeah, he needs a shooting guard, a real scoring shooting guard, a score first guy to go with him. Because they got Duren, who's averaging 20, but he's not a score first guy.
I mean,
he has big jump though. He was just averaging 11 points.
Yeah, Duren is great, but I think they need a guy who's known as a scorer. I'm not thinking Jalen Duren is necessarily a scorer.
Darren is what you call like an old school type.
But he's definitely top 5 big or centers. And then of course, the Knicks got Jalen Brunson, top 5 PG. They got the big bodega, one of the best offensive bigs in the game. They got
outside the club.
Mikal Bridges has been.
Isn't Cat leading the league in rebounds?
Cat is second place in rebounds. Jokic is leading. But Cat is one of the best rebounders in the league as well. He doesn't play a league of defense, but great scorer. And Mikal Bridges, honestly, one thing that is not talked about on the Knicks enough is this duo, Mikal Bridges and OG Anunoby. They're running any
that bench, bro. That bench.
And they have a very deep bench. They got Jordan Clarkson, guys like Jose Alvarado. They've added a lot of. They added Jose. They added Jeremy Sohan. They've added a lot of guys.
They got defense on the bench. They got scores.
Knicks. I see the Knicks do have what it takes. Mikal Bridges has been in a little bit of a slump recently. Been doing a lot of breaking, but they still been winning a lot. They're actually on a tear right now, 6-game win streak. So the Knicks, that's a team to watch out for come playoff time in the East. I guess another team to watch out for. I don't think they're going to be making a lot of serious noise, but the Cavs is going to be one to watch.
Yeah,
they got
it's a sleeper.
definitely a little sleeper. They got you have to recognize one of the best backcourts in the league right now. With D. Mitch and Harden. And then they got Mobley, defensive player of the year last year. Jared Allen is Jared Allen? He's injured.
I'm not sure. Let's not sleep on Dennis Schroeder too.
Dennis Schroeder, and they got that Jordan Tyson dude been shooting the mess out of the ball. So they got some solid dudes, man. But that's all for today's episode of the 5-Man Breakdown. It's your host Dorsey Housen.
It's your other host here, Maurice.
Other host here, Jeremy Gray.
That's all.